Audio Jungle.
Welcome back to Delayed Draw. I'm your host, Baldy McBaldersons. How y'all doing this week? Everybody feeling good? Feeling good after a nice, relaxing, easy Packers win? Because that's how it went, right? Super easy. Man, I grew up in the 80s. I've seen a lot of wild Packer games. I saw the Snow Bowl against Tampa Bay. Saw the instant replay game, Don Majkowski to Sterling Sharp against the Bears. I saw the He Did What? We all know what that's all about, Antonio Freeman. So we want the ball and we're going to score. All those games, crazy. This one with the Bengals this week ranks right up there. This is one of those games that I will never forget. That this one's lodged in my memory forever. I said in my first podcast that I don't jump out of my chair. I don't get crazy excited at games, and I didn't do that this game, but I got much more animated than I normally do. When Cincinnati missed their second field goal, I no shit laughed maniacally. I felt like an insane person. Like I felt like the game was making me crazy. Like who's gonna win this thing? Like how do you miss this, man? How is this happening? So this definitely ranks up there with some of the wildest Packers games I've seen. Which brings us to the first point. Originally, when I started this podcast, I wanted to make it be about the stuff the media misses throughout the week, or just not misses per se, but just things they don't touch on, things that I saw that maybe they didn't see or whatever. But the problem with that is I don't get a ton of time to follow the media as much as I'd like. You know, I hear morning shows, I hear afternoon shows on my drives, and then I'll watch some YouTube highlights, stuff like that. So I don't get to soak in as much media as I'd like to really gauge what they have and haven't touched. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the format of this just a little bit. I still will touch on topics that the media hasn't hit that I've not heard. But since that may or may not even be a thing each week, I'm just going to go ahead and touch on points that I just feel are important, things that I've noticed, whether the media's hit them or not. I've also added 2 new segments, and we'll get to those here in a little while. Hopefully you'll enjoy them. I don't want to spoil them too soon, but we'll get there, and hopefully you enjoy them. Leaning a little more towards the entertainment value, as it were. But yeah, getting back to the game, field goals, the elephant in the room, right? What the hell was that all about? Jokingly on Twitter, I said I started that game with a mullet, and I ended up like this. I pulled all my hair out. I don't know. There must have been just like a weird wind or something. I know neither one of the kickers have really said that. But, I mean, what other explanation do you have? Just some odd kind of crosswind going on or something? Because they were both missing them. They just kept pulling them. I think all the misses went off to the left. No, I take that back. The 57-yarder went off the right upright. But that's a 57-yard field goal. I mean, that's obviously not a gimme. Yeah, don't know. I still feel super good about Mason Crosby. Last time he had a game like this, he went like 72 of 76 for the next year or whatever. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was something ridiculous. So it's an anomaly. The dude's been super clutch for us. We can't turn our backs on him now. Dude's a machine. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about there. Another point I want to touch on. Kevin King played a great game. He did get the shoulder injury, but I saw the stats. He was targeted 0 times for 0 receptions, made 4 tackles. The first 2 tackles, he was channeling his inner Jair, those little swing passes out to the side. He came flying in like a missile on both of those, and I was like, dude, where's this guy been? This is the Kevin King we want. And then of course he got another injury. So that, whether you are a Kevin King fan or a Kevin King hater, I think there's one thing we can all agree is that the dude cannot stay healthy. Maybe he could be a fantastic cornerback. Maybe all these things that he's done wrong, he can fix from week to week, but doesn't get the opportunity because he keeps hurting himself. Hopefully he's okay, though. He played a good game last week, and I'd like to see him come back and build on that success. Flip side to that coin is Eric Stokes. Dude's been covering, is phenomenal in his coverage. My one early gripe with him, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's a rookie, he's going to do rookie things, but some of his tackling is a little suspect. Now, it hasn't been horrible on the receivers. He's missed a couple here and there, but that happens. Every cornerback's going to miss tackles on a receiver because they're dodgy as fuck. I'm more concerned with when he has open field opportunities on running backs, on sweep plays, stuff like that. He looks like he wants no part of those guys. There's one play that stuck out in my mind in particular. I think it was Mixon. Could have been Pirine. I don't remember which one it was. But he's running to the left. He's running towards Stokes. Stokes was the only one out there. And he looked like he was playing tag football. He kind of stepped off to the side, did a little bit of this action on his shoulder, and the dude just ran by him. And he not only did the dude run by him, but Stokes turned around and looked at him. He didn't follow the play, or he might have walked or jogged after a little bit. He stood there and watched while the rest of the team came over and tackled the dude. I'm like, yeah, I know you're a rookie, and I know you're gonna make mistakes and stuff, but that's something you can't do, rookie or not. You gotta try and make the tackle. And it looked like he just had no desire to even be in that position, and that's got to get worked out. Hopefully, that will get worked out. I was tweeting with someone, I don't recall who, but I feel like is something that's very teachable. It's not like that's a problem that will never get fixed. So hopefully, knock on wood, he puts his body on the line a little bit more. Granted, you don't want any more injuries because we're short at cornerback as it is, but you can't play the game to not get injured. That's how you lose games. So yeah, Kevin King playing like he's gonna lose his job, which he very well might if Jair comes back. And Stokes playing well. I'm griping about the tackling, but for where he's at, not a lot of complaints. Dude's balling. Last little part I want to touch on here. I saw some people on Twitter bitching about Matt LaFleur's philosophy of all gas, no brakes, right? And they're acting like he didn't follow that philosophy in the Cincinnati game. And then maybe there's parts where he didn't. I'm not exactly sure what they're referencing, but I do know this. When there was just over 2 minutes left in the game, We had the ball at roughly the 30-yard line. I don't remember the exact yardage. Might even been closer. We ran the ball one time and threw two passes, one of which is to the end zone. Now, common strategy there would be, hey, let's run this ball, let's make them use timeouts, then let's kick a field goal and take the lead. But he threw two passes there. Didn't work out. I would say that's all gas, personally. Maybe not the best choices. If I was the coach, I wouldn't have done it. But I'm also not being paid millions of dollars to be an NFL coach. I would say that falls under the all gas, no brakes mantra. So I'm not sure what the people are referring to in that regard. Maybe they're talking about not going for it on 4th and 1 in overtime and relying on Crosby. I don't know. But I think he did fine with the whole all gas, no brakes thing. Don't know what else to say there. But what I do know what to say is that up next, I'm going to get to my next segment, my newest segment. And let's see if we can do this correctly here. First time I'm doing this, so bear with me. Let's see. There we go. Do. Okay. We are going to call this one Tales from the Twitterverse. But yeah, so I'm going to read a couple of tweets that I saw yesterday that I thought were interesting that I wanted to just kind of comment on. And the first one is from Zach Cruz 2 at Zach Cruz 2. He says, after the Bengals went up 7-0, Aaron Rodgers completed 22 of his next 25 passes, and the Packers scored on 5 of the next 6 possessions. Take away the end of the half sack, the Packers went touchdown, field goal, touchdown, field goal, field goal, missed field goal, missed field goal, missed field goal, field goal, after going down 7-0. Point I wanted to make with that is offense was killing it, but a couple of those field goals in there should not have been field goals. They should have been touchdowns. Like we kicked a field goal after Devontae's big pass, right? And we kicked a field goal after Aaron Jones' big run. Actually, we missed a field goal there. We punched those two guys in the end zone, and we're not even talking about this field goal game. So that's definitely something the Packers got to get cleaned up. Our red zone offense has been less than great this year, which is unfortunate. The next one we got from Packer Backer Podcast at Packer Backer Pod. Said, is anyone else worried about Rashawn Gary? He's supposed to be the future for the Packers at OLB, and he hasn't shown it. 6 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 1 tackle for loss in 5 games so far this season. That's not going to get it done. Poop emoji. I wouldn't say I'm sweating Gary. I feel like he's active. He may not be getting all the tackles, all the numbers, but it seems like he's around the quarterback a lot, i.e. he's getting good pressure. Maybe that's just the eye test. I haven't actually looked up the number of actual pressures he's gotten. But I feel, just watching the game, just by the eye test, I feel like he's active now. Maybe he should be more active based on where we drafted him, where he's at in his career. That I could probably agree with. But as far as is he helping? Is he not helping? Is he doing things? I think he is. I think he's helping. he may be getting a lot of double teams. Who knows? But I feel like he's around the ball. I feel like he's around the quarterback. So I'm not pushing the panic button on him just yet. Let's see here. This one's kind of a head scratcher. Well, take it back. It's not a head scratcher. He's a punter. Pat McAfee. We all know Pat McAfee at Pat McAfee Show. All NFL stadiums should be domes. And I'm pretty sure that's the punter and him talking. Because that is otherwise the dumbest thing that I may have ever read. One of the worst NFL takes ever. I think if Green Bay ever had a dome, I'm pretty sure the town would riot. That would be just horrible. Who wants a dome in Green Bay? And the fact that they're even considering building a dome in Chicago, that's borderline blasphemous. You know, I hate the Bears. Bears still suck, but God, don't emasculate them. What else we got here? So, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Tim Backus, at Tim Backus, I'll try to pronounce that exactly. He said, literally nobody wants this game. The reason that's interesting is it's one example of how him and I tweet things that are almost identical a lot. And I swear to God, I'm not copying his tweets. Because I didn't even see this tweet that he had made when I tweeted, nobody wants to win. This game is insane. And if you look at the timestamps, 1:11 p.m., 1:12, it's just one example. Like, I see him tweet a lot of stuff that I will have literally just thought. It's almost like he reads his mind or reads my mind and then types it out. And I'm like, dude, I swear to God, I was just thinking that exact same thing. And it's you know, a lot of us tweet a lot of the same things when crazy shit happens, or an interception, you know, Jair catches it. Everyone's like going crazy, Jair. Well, it's one thing to post the same thing or tweet the same thing then. But we'll tweet things like, you know, seeing a pulling guard make a good block on a linebacker or something, you know, just inconspicuous like that. Nothing that really jumps out. And I'll be like, man, Jenkins just made a really cool block there. And I'll look at Twitter and this dude just tweeted that. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I was just thinking that. So I just kind of wanted to give a shout out to him. If you're watching this, Tim, you and I, we're right here. And I promise you, I'm not copying your tweets. You can go back and look at my tweet history. I swear to God. It's some of the things that come out at identical times, and it's interesting. It's cool. I like that there's people out there that I'm kind of on the same wavelength with, you know, because I feel from time to time, being that I'm not in Green Bay and I'm not in Wisconsin, that I kind of lose the whole hive mind thing. I'm not a part of that. So I feel like he's one of the tweeters that I've kind of latched onto a little bit. Like, hey, this dude's he's with me, you know. And the last thing I want to talk about is from Andy Gilbert at Andy Gilbert 1994. This one really bothers me. It says, to those who have sent me death wishes and death threats this weekend from my hot takes, shame on you. There's no reason to wish death on someone for their opinion. Sorry if I offended you, but with death on someone, to wish death on someone is what he's trying to say. That's too far. Let's all be better. If you're one of these people sending death threats, fucking stop. What the hell's wrong with you? Sorry for my language, but stop it. Just stop. There's nothing good about that. Like, why do you think that's okay? What's going on in your screwed up head that thinks it's okay to tell someone they should die? I think if you're the person sending that tweet, go seek help. Go get some help. Someone go get some mental help, because there's something not right in your head. And I'm saying that both as an angry person and as someone who cares. Just get right. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to hear that. How would you like it? Someone starts sending you death threats. I know you're probably a man's man. Oh, I could handle it. Shut up. You're being stupid. So, again, if you're one of these people, knock it off. Quit being an asshole. Bothers me. With that tweet, we're going to move on to the very last segment. This one's a fun little segment, kind of tongue-in-cheek, if you will. So, for the love of all that's holy, don't take this next segment seriously. Because I know someone's going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe you said that. Dude, this is all for fun, so just relax. And we are going to call this one Green Bay Packers Conspiracy Theories. So, my conspiracy theory this week. Saw a lot of people talking Rodgers getting tunnel vision. All he can see is Davante Adams. He won't throw it to anybody else. What you know what's really going on here? Rodgers has, and a lot of you don't know this. This is little known medical news about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers does, in fact, have tunnel vision. Like literal tunnel vision. He can only see in a 20-degree wedge. So when he's staring Davante down, when that's all he's doing is looking at Davante, that's because that's the only person he can look at. If he scans the field, he'll lose track of everyone. It's called, what is the name of it? Conus Davantia, I think it's called. He literally has to look at Davante Adams. So when you guys start talking about Aaron Rodgers, there's tunnel vision, you need to lay off because he's handicapped, okay? Stupid. All right, guys. That's it for this week. Next week, it's on to the Bears. The Bears. You know, we all hate them. We all love to hate them. Bears still suck. If I were to pick a score, Bears offense is not exactly chugging away. Packers defense, despite all the injuries, doing pretty well. But their defense is good. I'm going to go low scoring game. Green Bay 17, Chicago 13. Last week I said Green Bay 30, Cincy 27. It was 25-22. Pretty close. But yeah, we'll see you next week. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at GB_delayed_draw. I don't want to do the whole follow and subscribe on YouTube thing because it's so cliche, it's so worn out. And I'm not into this for any sort of monetary value. So if you want to subscribe and like, feel free. If not, Totally understand. I hope you do, just so you can keep watching. That's all I really care about. I don't want to feel like I'm doing this for nothing. But yeah, you probably won't hear me do the whole like and subscribe thing all that much, but I figured I've been doing this for 3-4 weeks now. I might as well get it out there at least one time. But yeah, definitely follow me on Twitter though, because I like to tweet. So yeah, we'll see you next week. Hopefully after a Bears defeat, Packers victory. Go Pack, go. See you next time.
Audio Jungle.